Okay, so I'm here today to share a resource that's called LiveBinders with you. This is something that is available for free online. It's an open source program. And what I should have is fairly basic. I want to give you an idea of what it is, how you can use it, show you some examples of how I use it, and also give you some examples of how other teachers use it. And this will all be archived so that you can access it. So what is what exactly is a LiveBinder? A LiveBinder is a 3-ring binder for the web. It's that simple. For a tactile person like me, it's really helpful. And it's a 3-ring binder where you can archive and organize resources. They can be static documents like a Word document or a PowerPoint. They can be websites, they can be videos, they can be PDFs. You can use it with students, you can use it with your colleagues. That's as simple as it is. If I give you some ideas of some featured binders here, I'm going to take you into the site right now and I'm going to show you what I have. And we'll actually get some of my own resources. Slap that guy up there. All right. When you log, this is username and password encrypted. Again, it's free, so you just got to go and sign up, and they give you enough storage space that I haven't really met a lot of people that would actually fill this up yet and need to pay for a resource. But when you open up, you get your dashboard, all right, sort of like getting onto the VLE and seeing your course dashboard there. And then on there, you have shelves of binders. I'll just click on one here, and it'll open it up. And this is actually in edit mode. You'll notice a couple of things at the top. The first is that I have tabs just like the 3-ring binder that you make your kids store things in. This is the tab that is highlighted right now, and under that tab I've got subgroups, and in each subgroup I have information. So for instance, this is from my English class. We were just writing our first 5-paragraph essay, and so I put this binder together for them. I said, these are all of your resources from the assignment page to how do I do it, to outlines, to examples, to rubrics, etc., etc. So if I give them, I click on the button here, and hopefully it will load for me. I click on the button here, and it actually links to a Google Doc. You get an image of the Google Doc below, or if this were a website, an image of the website. You can interact with it through here, or you can go straight to the live site. Either one, pretty straightforward. And the way I was using this was not only as here is the assignment and what I expect, but it was also here is everything. These are sites that I have vetted for my students. I know and I trust the information that's there. So, basic overview of the 5-paragraph essay, that's in a slideshow format, a copy of the outline that I give them, which is sentence by sentence, and then I go into information about individual paragraphs. How do you set up an intro paragraph and what's it for? A slideshow for creating a thesis statement. This is a video for creating a thesis statement. This is a step-by-step outline of how to create a thesis statement. Similar information for body paragraphs and concluding paragraph. The idea here is they're getting a number of different modes of the same information. So the kid who wants the video can go to the video. The kid that wants the bullet points can go to the bullet points. The kid that wants to read can read. And for all of them, the kids that want the examples can see an example. So this was just a PDF of a student example of, this is their analytical essay on the Scarlet Letter. And again, for whatever reason, it's not cranking down there for me, but that's where it would appear. And if we had this problem before, you click on that and it solves it. I also gave them an anti-example so that they could see Mr. Barudi's really bad version. and they could go through, and because I had said, all right, well, this is the number of sentences and this is the role of each sentence, they could then see that, oh, this is obviously not going to cut it, Mr. Broody, and this is why. And then ultimately, one of the things that I like is that it's a little bit more multimedia, is that I can actually get a PDF here, maybe. I can get a PDF here where I can actually see the highlighting and see the outline that I've given to my kids. I can see the information clarified for me. And it's not working right now, so I'm not going to wait on it. But this is one that I've done for English class. I also have one for history class. This is, again, it's a very similar idea. There we go. But where I have the description, the rubric, where we keep our notes, how do you do the cheat sheet. Here's the home page of the website we were using. Here are a whole number of tutorials of how to use the website, from written directions to video to slideshow. And then there's a whole bunch of examples. Now, it's not actually that much work to put one of these together. It looks like it's a tremendous amount of work here, and it's like, oh, where did you find all those resources? I cheated and I used Google, because one of the ways that this is set up is actually to go in and populate the binder with vetted resources, because I'm not the first teacher to stand here and try and create something for teaching a 5-paragraph essay. So it actually goes through Live Binders, the website itself. It looks at what other people have selected, and it will start you out with those if you want. And that's just a great way. I mean, if we're thinking about vetting information, what is it that other teachers have used before? So it uses what they've spent time researching and finding. I can then benefit from that with nothing more than a username and a password on the same site, which is a great time-saving tool for me personally. But those are two examples of how I've used this program. I want to show you one. I want to show you one other here. While I'm thinking about it, you'll notice that these are my binders. If you go to featured binders, that will give you an idea of what are some others of the binders that are just living out here right now. You click on something like for Black History Month, you'll see that this is all here. You want to focus specifically on the Civil War, there you go. You want lesson plans. This is obviously something that's created for a teacher. But once you go and you click on one of those sub-tabs, that's enough resources that I'm never going to use them all in my own class as me as an individual. But because this is open source, because this is public, even though I have a username and a password, you can choose, when you create a binder, you can choose to make it public, and therefore anyone on the internet can search it. Or you can make it private, in which case it's got a code attached to it, and only the people I give the code to can see it. But because the majority of these things on the website are live, are public, I can copy this URL and give it as some resources for my kids to look at once I've gone through and checked to make sure that these are actually credible and useful and worthwhile. Yep.
Can you pick, if you're making reminders, can you pick some of those and customers?
Absolutely, because if you think about it, this is, let's just see what finishing. I don't know what these are. I've clicked on it at random. All right, finishing the dream. Here we go. Link to NBC's site. So this is something, Mark. If I wanted it, if I want to know, well, where does this come from? There's the URL for it. I can go and I can right-click on that. I can access the page. I can go and copy the information and put it into my own binder if I want. So you can, stealing is not the right word, but you can benefit from the work of others by linking to their own binders, or you can benefit from the work of others by vetting resources through their lens, or you can just create your own from scratch. And again, as a tactile person, I like that. I just want to, I mean, and these are two of the things that I found just in my own searching. This is a very simple and basic. There we go. Confusing for thing. There we go. This is just a basic PDF on how to use it, and it's super duper simple with screenshots and everything else so that you can actually go through, which is very nice. And this is the 10-minute YouTube video that walks you through step by step the PDF of how to do it. It's really, I wish I could say there was more to it than that. There's not really. What I'd like to show you really quickly is how easy it is actually to use. So I am going to go back to my binder. I'm going to go back to my profile. I'm going to look at my binders. I'm going to start a blank binder. And it's going to ask me for some basic information. It's going to say, all right, name your binder. What do you mean? Give me some content. What do you want to make a binder for? Something in math, can be something in science, can be something techie. I heard Shakespeare first. My bad. We can do lunch texture. I just don't have anything to populate it with right now. 8th grade Romeo and Juliet. There we go. All right. I am going to make this education. Now, here's the fun. And it always defaults to private. I like to make them private until I'm done working on them, and then I can make them public and the kids can see them. Just for the heck of it, we're just going to make it public. That way anyone can see it. Now, here's the slick thing. I'm not going to do it right now, but I could. If I click on this button, use Google search to fill the binder, I can now fill in my search terms there, Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, and Google will go out into the wide world, and it will populate your page using some first page information and anything that it finds on the LiveBinder site. All right, and if we think about, I mean, one of the things that I'm teaching my kids is how to do online research, and the fact that you type something into Google and in 0.01 of a second you get 330 million hits. And there's just no way you're going to be able to get through that. If you can drive it through the website, all you're doing is you're culling the number of hits that you're getting. So hopefully it will be better. But I'm not going to use Google right now, and I'm just going to create a new binder. And it's going to open up, and boom, here we go. We have a blank. This is our edit screen. Right, this is right now our binder properties. I can name these anything I want to name them. I'm just going to call this background. Okay. There we go. And if I want to, under here now, let's say something about background, I want to add a new sub-tab, and I can just put Shakespeare's life. And then I can go back up here, and I can go add a new sub-tab, something about Verona. Etc., etc. All right, now that I have these, I'm going to click on this, and it's going to say, there's nothing here. This is what the kid would see. Okay, if I know of a good resource, there we go. Of course I will skip the Wikipedia entry. Okay, maybe this is something that I like. I'm just going to go and say, yep, that's a good resource. I'll copy this. I'll go back in here, hit paste, hit insert, boom. Now, this URL is associated with that tab. And then I can go through. It automatically gives me 3 super tabs, and I can put as many under tabs into it as I want. I think they say you can do up to 50 tabs underneath, which seems like an obscene number of resources to me. But that's it. When you're all done, you hit save. Your binder was saved successfully, and now the next time you go back to your dashboard, it'll be living there. There it is. Okay, and it's that simple. Why would I use this and not the VLE? One of the things I've done in the past with this, and Steve was nice enough to be like, oh, this is simple. You can embed it right on the VLE, so that my kids don't even have to go to the step of coming to the website. I can put the binder on the VLE for them, and then they can sit there and they can flip through it. Why would I use this as opposed to something with the VLE? One, this is attached to other people's work. There are teachers and educators and trainers and everyone out there using this site. And I could benefit from their ideas. If you've ever used a social bookmarking site like a Delicious or a Diigo or something like that, if you know what those are, this has that aspect to it, where other people have, why reinvent the wheel every time when someone has already improved it for me? And then I could just use them as a jumping off point. That's the first reason I like to use it, because it has that social aspect to it. The second reason I like to use it is it's for my kids that can't sit still and have trouble with organization, which is every sixth grader. They understand this on some level because they've been trained to use, and a lot of times they've been trained to use a 3-ring binder. This is something that I can give them and say, see, it's set up with tabs and information the same way that I'm asking you to in class. The third way I've used this, especially with kids, is to actually have this is my history binder. Here are all my tabs. Here's all the information in your history binder. I'm having a binder check on Friday. Go to the live binder and make sure you have everything. Okay, and it gives them that takes me out of the equation in terms of, Mr. Broody, what am I supposed to have? Mr. Broody, what am I supposed to have? Mr. Broody, what am I supposed to have? And it puts the onus on them and the responsibility on them to go to the resource that I have provided for you and do the checking yourself. And that little bit of a change makes them be a little bit more responsible for the information. Those are really the 3 big ways that I use this and why I use this. Does the VLE have similar capabilities? Absolutely. Does it have other capabilities beyond this? Absolutely. Is this another method by which I can teach my 6th graders organization and skills? Yes. And that's why I use it with them. That's all I got right now. My spiel is done.
You haven't actually given it a place to save it yet.
All right.
So
Stop it. It's recording.